All right, so I was going to give everybody a few minutes to join because I haven't been on Facebook or Facebook I got right now, and then I've got the YouTube on there that I'm recording this at the same time. For those of you who don't know, I don't typically record these and then post them because that's too much work for me to try to do that. But I figured it's too much work for me to have to go from page to page to page to also repost the exact same thing. So I'm not doing that part. Anyway, I have been having the reason why I've been kind of silent, just not doing my lives, is because one, I've had a cold, been dealing with sickness, but then also taking care of the kids because they've been sick. Um, it's also I've been going through a lot of challenging things right now for me mentally and emotionally. They're the exact same thing, mentally and emotionally. Anyway, going through a lot, and there's not a lot of people that lift me up. I've got people that always want me to lift them up. Oh, be the rock star, be the cheerleader. Yay, you can do it. Meanwhile, I'm struggling right now just to keep myself out of the toilet, and the fact that I'm still breathing right now and my heart's still beating right now, I can say, hey, I'm alive, I'm here. I'm That's all I got right now, I can say. So I wanted to read a book because sometimes we forget that the child inside of us, we all have that inner child. Believe it or not, we all have an inner child. That's why adults, for the most part, act worse than children because they're still trying to figure out how to be adults in life. And the people that choose to do the work to heal on themselves, like I've been doing, the hardest things that I've had to deal with again, it's not always fun. It's not always pretty. It brings you right down to where, what am I doing this for? But at the same time, I'm also very thankful to God that I've got my hypnosis to help me out. Otherwise, I'd be a complete disaster. So the book is I Knew You Could. So as I read this, I want you to think on it. Okay? So it's I Knew You Could, a book for all the stops in your life. I knew you could, and you knew it too, that you'd come out on top after all you've been through. And from here you'll go farther and see brand new sights. You'll face brand new hills that rise to new heights. I wish I could show you the stops that you'll visit, but that isn't my choice to make for you, is it? Instead, I can tell you some lessons and tales that I've learned and relearned in my time on the rails. First of all, you must find your own track so that you can start right away and not be held back. But which track is yours? Well, that all depends on which way it's going and where it might end. Different tracks wind around, over, under, and through. So pick out the one that works best for you. Though the track you start on will feel like the one, you might take a few more before you are done. And now, with your eyes on a new destination, start up your wheels and roll out of the station. On your new trip, you'll make plenty of stops in deep river valleys and on high mountain tops. Some will surprise you and some will be planned. And you'll roll through each one saying, I think I can. Sure, didn't skip a page. Okay. You'll go through tunnels surrounded by dark, and you'll wish for a light or even a spark. You might get scared or a little bit sad, wondering if maybe your track has gone bad. So here's some advice to help ease your doubt. The track you took in must also go out. So steady yourself and just keep going. Before you know it, some light will be showing. And then you'll be out, heading to a new place. You'll be ready for the next tunnel you face. Sometimes you'll look up and you'll see planes in the sky and you'll think to yourself, I wish I could fly. The cars on the roads will seem quick and free. You'll feel stuck in your track and think, I wish that was me. But the plane might wish he could get out of the air, saying, I wish I could travel like that train down there. The cars will watch as you speed right along, and they'll say to each other, look how fast and strong. Don't worry about not being a car or a plane. Just enjoy the trip you'll take as a train. Don't be afraid to toot your own horn if you need to be heard or there are people to warn. Or if being yourself just makes you so proud that you want to share it and sing it out loud. You'll follow your track through twists and through bends and stop at new stops and pick up new friends. They'll come all aboard with smiles and greetings. You'll have such great times with the people you're meeting. On the days when you're feeling sad and you feel you can't go, speak up and ask a friend for a tow. That's what friends do, so don't be afraid. You'd do the same if your friend needed aid. You might stop at some stops that you've never toured and look for new friends, but they won't come aboard. So you'll have to head out with a creak and a groan, setting out once again on your track, all alone. Try to remember that the world is so wide, full of all kinds of people with their own trains to ride. Just stay true to yourself as you travel your track, with no second guessing and no looking back. Once you're on the right track, you'll probably say, this one is mine and I'm here to stay. Try to enjoy the track that you choose. Stop now and then to take in the views. If you rush forward as a general rule, before you arrive, you could run out of fuel. Don't overwork, but save up some strength. That way, every day, you can travel great lengths. You'll need all that strength on the days when you're stuck, or tired, or sad, or just out of luck. When your belief in yourself doesn't feel quite so pure, and your I think I can doesn't sound quite so sure. That's when to push and to strive and to strain, to show the world you're not a giving up train. And if you're wise, if you know that you're doing your best, that means sometimes you should just slow down and rest. Speeding through your whole trip will only bring sorrow. So slow down today to be happy tomorrow. There's more about life that you'll learn as you go, because figuring things out on your own helps you grow. Just trust in yourself and you'll climb every hill. See, I think I can. And you know what? You will. The reason why I chose to read this book as I was going through this, I don't know about you, but like I said in the beginning, I've been feeling kind of stuck, been going through some stuff. And on the days when I'm feeling sad and I feel like I can't go, said speak up and ask for a friend for a tow. But sometimes not everybody wants to ask for help, or we just have to pretend like everything's peachy, like they do online, just pretend. But the problem is that the pretending doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help anyone. The best thing we can do, when I was going through this book, like I said, as I was reading it, it literally talks about how life is that twist and how that bends and how you can, the way to go out is you have to go through it. It's no different than when you're giving birth to a baby. The exact same positions of how you get that baby into the position of being in there in the first place is the exact same way that baby's got to come out, unless you have a C-section, because then it comes out through the stomach. I'm not going to elaborate any further than that. What I want you to know is that In life, you have to figure out your journey. You have to figure out what it is that you're made for. Well, when you figure out what you're made for, what your purpose is, right now I'm finding out that that is the best that I have realized that what I was meant to do, but other people don't necessarily. I have to figure out how to do it differently. But not everybody wants to grow. Most people, they just want to get up in the morning, get up, go do the same thing, and then die. They don't choose to grow themselves. They don't choose to know themselves, which is the greatest tragedy, I believe, in life, is for a person to not know themselves. You can be in tune. Oh, yeah, I know my body, but you really don't know your body. You really don't know how it functions, because if you did, a lot of the behaviors that you have would stop. A lot of your thoughts would stop. A lot of the emotions that you're feeling, you would know how to handle them as they come up. You'd be that better parent. You'd be that better person in this world. People right now, they're talking about all this hurt going on. I know that there's a war going on. I get that. There's always a war within ourselves. How about that? What about that war that's within ourselves? I want to do good. I want to do better. But at the same time, you're also fighting yourself. I can't. This is too hard. I don't have anyone to support me. Did you know all it takes is one person to support you, one person to say, I believe in you? One person is all it takes. I'm surrounded by people that don't think I can do anything great. Just ask a lot of people, mostly my relatives. That's why I'm like, all I have is my mom and my husband. That's it. I got my kids, but they don't quite count yet for for things, you know. They kind of got a choice right now. But anyways, I'm just saying, you read that book. Think about what I had said when I was reading it. I didn't interject anything until the end, and I saved it purposely because someone may have a different meaning of what that means for them. For me right now today, it's just, I got to keep going. I know that I believe with all my heart, mind, and soul that what I'm doing, I'm meant to do. But the next person who don't believe in themselves at all, don't want to invest in themselves, don't care about themselves, they could care less if they up and die right now. I'm not for them, and I know that. It's really sad that with everything going on in the world, that people just can't really just take that deep breath, just to focus, to change those thoughts on something positive. Because ultimately, we'll never have world peace. Because in order to have that, every single person on this planet would have to be willing to die to the behaviors that's causing pain in their life. See, the healing journey is kind of like that book. Like what I said before, that the healing journey, that's why a heartbeat exists. Because the heartbeat literally is like this. That's the healing journey. And when it stops, you're dead. That's it. You don't get another time. You don't get another chance. So a lot of people, they just choose to go through life like this long enough to get out of the school, long enough to get out of their job, and then the second that stops, they're done. That's it. They don't do anything with their life. And it's a tragedy that most people don't get to know themselves better. It's a tragedy that most people will never take the time to figure out what they truly do want to do in life until they're on their deathbed having their list of regrets of, oh, I wish I would have done what I wanted to do with my life. I wish I would have been a better parent. I wish I would have done things differently for my kids. I wish I would have spent more time at work instead of at home. Says no one ever. I'm just saying. There's things to think about in your life. So the question that I have for you today is, what are you going to do to keep going, no matter how things are seeming right now, like in your immediate view? What are you going to do to keep going to make this world, aka your world, because you can't change other people, you can only change yourself. What are you going to do to change yourself, to grow yourself, to know yourself, so that this world can be a better place? Because ultimately, the world ain't going to change. You have to be the one willing to change. And if you're not willing to change, You're just going to be another person that goes in the ground that nobody gives a crap at the end. People are going to cry, woohoo. But ultimately, that's how it's going to go. People that don't grow die faster. They have a shorter lifespan. They're not happy. Their life was miserable. They complain more. They're in more pain. There's a reason why it's a psychological, they call it psychosomatic. It's a psychological issue that's causing the symptoms in the body. It's called mind body as well. So I hope this helps somebody out there. And if it did, share it. And if it didn't, that's okay too. Just know that I'm thinking of you, and I hope that someday you want to be able to change and make the world a better place. But it always has to start with yourself. It starts with that person in the mirror that's looking back at you. No one else can make you change. No one can make you do anything. And if you find a way to make someone do something they don't want to do, contact me because I need your help. I got quite a few people I would love your help on being able to control their minds and be able to control them in some way, shape, or form so I get them to do what I want them to do. And it's a couple of the relatives. So just saying, I got that I'll throw out there. Go out there and make it a great day.